Hello and welcome back to Draw a Card. This is Travis. Today we're going to be doing another card from Marvel Universe Series 2. And it's going to be Jubilee. I think Eric Larson did this card. Just kind of judging by the line work, I'm guessing. A lot of these cards, they didn't really have signatures on them. If they did, they hid the signature. I'm guessing I might be wrong. If anyone does know, just leave a comment or send me a message and let me know who the artist is actually on this. But before I go into what tools I use, please like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps me grow this channel. Thank you very much. So, first tool is a basic number 2 pencil. And it just took a second for my camera to focus. A pen eraser. It's good for just erasing just narrow sections. Just a general purpose eraser. I also have a kneaded eraser that I use just to kind of lift up pencil and kind of refine a pencil drawing, or to kind of lift up some of that pencil so I can start inking away. Alright, next up is my set of Prismacolor fine point pens. Again, no real order to these. I have a 0.01, 0.03, 0.05, and a 0.8 as well. For the larger areas, I have a Sharpie pen just to drop ink in. Basic things such as just a basic ruler for straight lines, or this small template I use as a straight edge as well. And lastly, be like a just what's called a French curve, just for any curved surfaces, curved lines, I should say. If I need to get a perfect curved line, I would use this French curve. And almost forgot, one of my favorite tools, just for corrections or to add in some details, is this white Jelly Roll pen. Very good pen, very good for corrections, which I definitely use in this. And also to add in some effects. Like once you say you lay down some black ink and you want to add in some, ripple effects or define certain edges of an object, this is what you would use. All right. Okay, so I already have the template laid out for the card. It's pretty close to the original card, but now I'm just laying out some guidelines because I do have a pose I drew off camera, and I'm just using it like a grid just to kind of make sure I have it close to what I drew off camera. So there we go, I'm just drawing the figure. It's going to be a lot different than what was on the card. I actually zoomed in. I wasn't a big fan of what was decided, I guess, for the final art for the card. I didn't think it represented the character right. And what I remember the character from is mostly from the cartoon and being introduced to her when she's like in an arcade. She wrecks this arcade machine. So I'm going to draw her kind of playing this arcade machine with an updated costume. I think the last time that was updated was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm going off of that, what that costume looks like. So I could just kind of sketch an arcade machine and some background elements. So now I'm just going in and doing like fine details. I will go back and probably clean up that face because I'm really not going to be happy with it, to be honest. But I try not to go and dwell on that, what I don't like. I just want to have some things sketched in first. Going in. Oh, I was about to say one of the tools I forgot was a circle template. Very handy thing to have around. So now I'm just going in, tightening up by the hands, getting the jacket just right. Finally got that face just the way I want it, and now I'm going in, just doing some basic, just kind of basic perspective. I'm kind of fudging the perspective here, but it's pretty close. It's just a more of a background element. Now I'm kind of drawing in some plasmids that are going to be shooting out of the machine. for people asking what the heck is a plasmid, well, that's what they called her powers when she would use them. Fixing up the elbow, the anatomy looked a little bit off. So now I'm starting to inking it. I'm using the 05 pen, and I go over my contour line, and if you're wondering what a contour line is, that's the exterior line of the figure. So I'm going in with a thicker pen, and then when I actually go to do the detail, the face and everything, I'm going to actually use a smaller pen, like a 01. So now I realize that the hair is way too tall, even for it being pushed back. So I kind of draw where I think that's going to be, and I use that jelly roll pen to kind of fix that line. I'll be honest, I freaked out a little bit when I inked the hair a little too high. So now I'm going in, just adding in little bits and details of the jacket, the hair, the X-Men logo in a sec, and I'm kind of sketching in these lines that are kind of like the piping in her shirt, but all that's going to be solid black in a second. Using a French curve to get the jacket curves just right. Now I'm using a 01 as well for the details for the plasmids. Well, it's supposed to be like fireworks, you know, shooting out. That's what they're supposed to kind of look like. It's like got little effects to the machine. Maybe the machine's kind of, she's frying the machine like she did in the cartoon, but at this point she really doesn't care, I guess. And in case you're wondering why I'm not using a ruler for this part to do the straight edges, this little template I had, that green template, it's a lot smaller than the ruler. It's easy to manage and move across the page. So what you just saw too, the other pen come in, that was another like a pen, a white opaque paint pen that I used. I forgot how I used on this. Very similar to the jelly roll, except it has a larger tip and it's better for some larger areas to fix. I'm going back in and adjusting contour line, thickening up some areas. You know, like for instance, her body that's in front of her right arm, or what you would see on her left. Yeah, I want her body to kind of pop forward. So what you do is you increase the contour line, the thickness of the contour line, certain parts to kind of make things look three-dimensional. Now I'm doing some background, so I'm doing some cross hatching, and why I'm doing this, I'm going to make it look like kind of light and sparks from the machine are just causing a lot of light to pop off from the machine, so you have some of that kind of implication with the hatching, so that's why I use that there. So I'm almost done. I'm just going in, tweaking a few things. Towards the end of this, I get brave enough to actually write in some text on this one. So if you see a lot of those long pauses, I keep going back and measuring the card and basically doubling the size. So I'm just kind of masking out a little grid, figuring out what the letters are. When I drew in that template originally, actually I did mess it up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. the J of Jubilee is supposed to go over the artwork, but I didn't measure it properly, so it's just going to be in this little box at the bottom. So I'm just going in with my fine point pens, using my straight edge, going in and just tidying up the letters, and then I'm going to actually drop in black ink all in that bottom box, and the, if you could see the perimeter on left, right, and the top, I'm going to drop black ink in there as well. And the reason I use a Sharpie, to be honest, is just ease of use. Especially for a smaller piece like this, it makes it kind of easier instead of just going in with a brush. However, that part probably would have came in handy for brush, but like I said, just ease of use. It's a little bit more portable for me instead of bringing around ink and a brush all the time. Oh, so another little element, there's some white lines that go across the black of the card, so I kind of measured it out. I think I went a little too all out on this one, but it's a nice touch actually. Okay, well that will wrap up this video. This is the final product. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it. And also, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. See you for the next one. Thanks.